The OPZ from Teenage Engineering has had a firmware update, which has brought some new behaviors for controlling the 3 different audio inputs, and also the tape track, or a small update to the tape track in the app. I thought that although the tape track update is small, this is the perfect excuse to follow up on a couple of people who've been asking me how to use the tape track, especially now that we have some fresh possibilities with the audio inputs. So let's get started. First thing first, if you missed the Teenage Engineering live stream, they announced the new firmware and focused on changing what has been known by many as the module track to do audio input managing. I believe it used to be a bit of a difficult affair that you used shift and screen and were able to click these 3 different buttons to activate the microphone, the TRRS input here, or audio over USB. But now they have updated the module page, and this will show here on the app. Of course, you still have your module. If you have one inserted, all of the regular connectivity will be there. But on top of that, we have this nice handy new menu where you can hold shift and you press 1, 2, 3 for the mic, headset and USB respectively. So I have obviously the mic here, hello, hello. And I can turn on USB, where I've got some audio feeding in just for the sake of this. So now that I have this USB audio coming in, let's just turn it back on. Get a little drum loop going from Ableton. And let's go through some of the features. So basically what they're saying is now you should be able to use this module audio input track much more like the other tracks. So a lot more control, starting with the volume, the pan, much more usefully compared to before you have direct control over the effects. So that's pretty cool. If we go up the top here, there's also a resonance and filter. But for my sake, I think the big thing to come out of this is possibly the LFO. So just having an extra LFO is always amazing, and to have it on incoming audio output opens up a whole possibilities that I haven't even fully explored yet, just because this is a brand new update, but let's give it a go. I'm going to start by just using the filter. You can, just like on the others, add a different shape, including random, which opens up a lot more possibilities for ambient music and stuff like that. Can also set the destination as well. So other than what we're using filter right now, got the usual location. So also the filter, resonance, attack, vibrato, pan. We're gonna get some crazy stereo going, volume. I'm already getting carried away. I also forgot to mention in terms of the interface and the app as well, if we hold the mixer button, we can see the master. It's been added to there, so you just have better oversight over your mix. It's going to be really useful as well for integrating a whole bunch of extra inputs. Now, like I mentioned, we're going to go over the tape track a bit. There's nothing totally revolutionary with the tape track change itself. But if you're a beginner, this is going to be really helpful because they've added some info about the dials onto the app, so you're not driving blind, so to speak. Once you hold the track and head over tape, you're going to see this interface here. I've just got a quick beat running in the background. And you can use these grey keys down the bottom like you would a keyboard. And you'll notice you get this kind of beat mash effect. And that's the essence of the tape track. And what you have as well, you're able to dial in some speed that will go up and then eventually back down again. You're able to fine-tune those loops, which also has a kind of fun pitch effect on it. There's some filter and resonance controls as well. If you just hit shift as well, you head over to the next page where you have you can add some send effects as well. I've got some delay and reverb there. And then you have your pan and volume for the level. If you want to try some different style of tape effect, you can hit these number dials. You'll get a few changes that modify the way that divisions are working. So if you want a really in-depth take, I don't need to reinvent the wheel. You can go over to tutorials from Gibraldo Oscillator Sync that I will link, which is even more impressive considering that they didn't have this menu and they just did some investigation. So now I've got the beat going, and I'm just going to show again what happens if I hit one of these controls and I get a beat mash type tape effect. It's pretty grating, so if I just wanted to continue a live performance, maybe this is cool for sound design, but it's not very usable in that sense. Can be a bit jarring, and if that doesn't suit your music type, then I think one of the best ways to go is to hold the shift button, and then you'll notice these yellow lights which denote different parts being activated. So we can turn off all of the melodic tracks and just focus on the drums. And then there you hear you get some cool rhythmic focus, and we can narrow that down to some different stuff, and today we're going to try and use that with the new tape track. So since we haven't been able to do that before, what you can actually do is send it to the tape track here with that same shift function, and then now when we go over and we turn on that audio, let's chuck some effects on there as well. Just gonna turn those effects down. And why don't we add some interesting LFO behaviors. And we should just try to record in some hum. yeah, that jam was a bit of a mess, but hopefully you see that if you combine these different features of the audio inputs, the LFOs, the tape track, adding some different modulations, you can get a whole lot of different possibilities. I hope this short tutorial helped you in some way, maybe sparked a bit of new interest in the OPZ, or brought it back to you if you're looking for some new ways to use your device. I have a couple of different tutorials and performances and free sample packs if you're interested in subscribing. But thanks for watching and have a nice one.